Hi everyone, welcome to the course Inside Chinese Culture. In this session, we will focus on the general traits of Chinese traditional music, with a comparison between East and West, Chinese pentatonic scale, and categorization of Chinese musical instruments. First, general traits of traditional music. In general, traditional musicians follow the Confucian doctrine, and traditional music was characterized by magnificent opening, exquisite playing techniques, flowing melody, and a grand finale. In order to present a grand and magnificent opening of musical pieces, musicians in an orchestra or ensemble often begin their pieces with a grand flourish, when all of them play their instruments simultaneously for a few seconds, or loudly sound a gong or drum. This signals that the piece has begun and gets the audience's attention. After the grand opening of the piece, the musicians will generally turn the volume down towards the middle. This enables the audience to appreciate the playing techniques of the individual musicians. Toward the close of a piece, the volume generally increases again for the finale. Now, let's talk a little bit about the difference between Chinese music and Western music. Traditional Chinese music differs from Western music in terms of rhythm, because traditional music emphasizes the precise presentation of each note of an instrument rather than an emphasis on rhythm. Unlike Western or African music, which is usually meant to be danced or moved to, traditional Chinese music is meant to regulate people's behavior. So there is no emphasis on rhythm or beat. Also, traditional music generally doesn't have sharp breaks in tempo. However, instead of a regular tempo throughout, many pieces feature a regular but smoothly accelerating tempo. The tempo slowly increases towards the finale, like a river gaining speed as it runs downwards. This is often the rhythmic feature of traditional Chinese music. Melody and tone quality are prominent expressive features of Chinese music, and great emphasis is given to the proper articulation of each musical tone. Now, Chinese pentatonic scale. Let's listen to a Chinese traditional song. Chinese traditional music is characterized by the pentatonic scale, 五声音节. As the word formation suggests, pent means five, as in pentagon. Together with tonic, it means a five-tone scale. The five core tones of Chinese scales are gong, shang, jiao, zhi, yu, which are equal to C, D, E, G, A in a scale, or do, re, mi, sol, la. That is why in Chinese we have the phrase 五音不全, to refer to someone who always sings out of tune. 五音不全 literally means that someone does not have the 5 tones. But it is not that Chinese music only has 5 tones. The earliest bone flutes have 7 holes, which means we have 7-tone songs and music. The reason why pentatonic scale is used a lot is that these 5 tones are all whole tones, giving a stable and calming effect, while the other 2 notes are semitones, giving a feeling of suspense. Most Chinese traditional songs are based on the 5-tone or pentatonic scale, but the 7-tone or heptatonic scale is also used, often as an expansion of a basically pentatonic chord. The pentatonic scale was much used in older music. These 5 chord tones are sometimes connected with the 5 elements or 五行, earth, metal, wood, fire, and water. Well, the 12 pitches of the tonal system are connected by some writers with the months of the year, hours of the day, or phases of the moon. So some Chinese musical instruments were designed accordingly. For example, the pitches of the strings of guqin and guzheng corresponds to the pentatonic scale, having gong, shang, jiao, zhi, yu, or do, re, mi, sol, la. Before we talk about Chinese musical instruments, I would first share with you the evolution of Chinese word, qin. From the first one, you can see how Chinese characters are based on pictographs, representing each word by the physical appearance of the object. The second one is a simplified version. The upper part looks like strings with frets. The lower part looks like resonance box of the instrument. We also have other Chinese characters with the same upper part as qin, se, pipa, which are all stringed instruments. Actually, the Chinese national musical instrument is the key part in Chinese music. With a long history, there are a series of national instruments developed in China. The combination of different instruments served to create a harmonious and beautiful auditory atmosphere. Many instruments can produce purely unique and amazing sounds. Let's look at a picture. It's usually a gift to girls. After you wind it, you will see the ballerina spins and hear the music. It is called 八音盒 in Chinese. Why 八音, 8 sounds? That is because Chinese musical instruments were traditionally grouped into 8 categories known as 八音, according to the material. Then later, 八音 came to mean music. This 八音 categorization system was based on the material used in the making of the instruments. The 8 being metal, stone, silk, bamboo, gourd, clay, leather, and wood. The bronze bells, 编钟, we mentioned previously, are made of metal. Stone chimes are a set of struck sonorous stones with small holes to be suspended from a frame. Qin and zheng belong to the silk category because the strings were made of silk. But later, metal or nylon are used instead. Panpipes and flute are made of bamboo. Ancient sheng was made of gourd, a large fruit with a hard shell. Hulusi is also made of gourd. Xun, Chinese vessel flute, was made of pottery or clay. It is one of the oldest known Chinese instruments. It is egg-shaped with a flattened bottom and finger holes. Drums are made of leather. Zhu and yu were ancient wood percussion instruments. It is said that zhu were struck at the beginning and yu were struck at the end of a music piece. Now, categorization of traditional musical instrument. The variations of rhythm, beat, and tone quality in traditional Chinese music are highly distinctive. This is mainly due to the unique sounds and playing styles of traditional musical instruments. In terms of material, they are 八音, but in terms of playing skills, there are generally 4 kinds. The first category includes the bowed string instruments such as 板胡 or 二胡, which are made of wood with a piece of snakeskin stretched over the sound box. They have 2 strings, and the bowl is permanently caught in between the 2 strings. The second category includes the plucked string instruments such as 古筝, 琵琶, and 三弦. In the past, the strings were made of silk, though today metal or nylon are more frequently used. The third category is the wood-wind instrument that include flutes, xiao, suona, and so on. The last category is the percussion instruments, which include drums, gongs, and cymbals. Okay, these are the 2 major categorizations of Chinese musical instruments, and we will focus on some major instruments in the next session. See you then.